Taking talk radio where it has never gone before. New vistas, new voices, new views, new visions, new victories. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we're taking public media black.
Welcome in to Hour 3 of RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. Little Jamiroquai Virtual Insanity. How did they know? How did they know that we would be in the middle of virtual insanity in 2023? When did that song come out? I feel as though it came out about like 97, 98. Okay. All right. See, sometimes I'm on. And what happened to them? I feel like they might have been, they could be. Listen, when I worked at Nike, we had this concert. Well, not concert. It was a running event that we did called Run, R-U-N, Hit Wonder. And it was a 5K and a 10K. So I think 5K is like 3 point something miles and a 10K is like 5.6, something like that. Can't remember the actual numbers. And it was in Hollywood, the first one, and along the route they had all these different groups that were run hit wonders that played as you ran the race and cheered you on. I feel like there's something, maybe not that, but something that we could do with like, our 90s one-hit wonders or maybe an 80s, 90s combination, a one-day concert. I think that there's something there. Forensic Accountant in the chat says, Jamiroquai reminds me of a singer from the 80s. His name escapes me now. Another singer? I don't know. Andy?
You know who Jamiroquai is in 2023?
Who is he?
Steve
Post
Lacy.
Malone? Oh, Steve Lacy. Like in real life, you're saying?
No, I'm just,
okay.
just
making the comparison.
Making the comparison.
All right. That's a good one. I can see that. I thought you were going to say like Post or something like that. No. All right. I see that. That works. So listen, hour 3 is the after hours. We let our hair down a little bit, or we talk about things, that are only appropriate when the velvet ropes come down, when it's late. So this story and stories like this have been buzzing around the media for a couple years now. And I guess we're finally going to see some resolution, perhaps. Trey Songz is at the center of yet another lawsuit. According to reports, he's been sued for allegedly raping 2 women at his home in 2015. So there's been several accusations that have been levied at Trey and sexual assault. Keke Palmer, a few years back, talked about him making her uncomfortable at a party one time and things of that nature. So it's not unfamiliar territory as far as his name is concerned over the past couple of years. His attorney, Michael Friedman, issued a statement saying that the individuals were just trying to take advantage of California's legal system. As you know, there is a statute of limitations that was lifted for a certain time period, and you had to file a sexual assault or harassment claim within a certain time frame in order for it to be considered and looked over. I might be having some of the details of that a little fuzzy, but it's there. The Friedman, his lawyer, said, "This is yet another example of nearly decade-old allegations being repurposed to take advantage of California's constitutionally questionable new look-back window." That's what the law is called, the look-back window. "We look forward to vindicating Trey on the merits in court." So along with sexual assault, the victims are also coming at him for battery. The unnamed plaintiffs said they initially met Trey Songz at one of his concerts in June of 2015. Following the show, he was said to have hosted an after party, and the ladies attended that as well. From there, they said Songz established an ongoing interaction with at least one of them, which eventually led to him extending an invite to them to come to his birthday kickback later on in the year. This is according to the court filings. Upon their Ubered arrival, I guess he paid for the Uber, they said that they were forced to hand over their cell phones plus the passwords. Now listen, I've been to some parties. Where they've collected cell phones. They had, some of them have had those little bags where they lock them up and they give you the little chink thing, like the magnet thing to unlock it when you leave. And they take it. Some people have you sign NDAs. I have never in life been asked to hand over my password. And beyond that, I would never stay someplace. Here's the thing. I can understand, and even in some instances, there are places that I've gone to that had a no cell phone policy, and I was like, no, thank you. I'm good for the night. I understand people want privacy. They want to be, especially if people are coming to your home, and, people snap stuff up for later. You never know what they're doing. However, there is no reason in the world for you, a stranger, or your people to have my passwords to my phone. That is a breach of security. I don't know you. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know that you're not taking information. I don't understand that at all. I would have left, right? I would have left. But that's me. And, people get excited when they get around celebrities sometimes. And listen, they kind of lose focus. They lose perspective. Again, I would have left. When we come forward, I will let you know the details of what they are alleging happened after that point. Shout out to Aubrey Sinclair in the chat because he knew who Forensic Accountant was referencing. He's talking about Malcolm McLaren. And if you don't know who Malcolm McLaren is, he had that song Buffalo Gals. Two Buffalo gals go around the outside, round the outside. Is it just because they're both white? I don't know if I see that. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know what Malcolm McLaren looked like in later years, but I know he did not have dreads, and I believe Jamiroquai had dreads, right? Right. More on that on the other side. You were locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
Trending topics and the hottest happenings. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Joey from Vermont, a farmer trying to get through the winter. Adriana from South Carolina, a single mother living paycheck to paycheck. Liam from Ohio, an injured father struggling to provide for his family. Hi, I'm Shanola Hampton, and I support the Feeding America network of food banks because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Learn more at feedingamerica.org.
We're celebrating 1 year of the K. From checking out the vibrant art and diverse dining in Leimert Park to cheering on your favorite team in Inglewood, you can choose your own adventure when you ride the Metro K-Line. Leave the car at home and go Metro. Visit metro.net/K-Line.
The Green Foundation, key health influencer, empowering our Black communities through action. The Green Foundation advocates for affordable health care, accessibility, and knows the importance of culturally relatable health care. Regardless of income, we believe it is a right for optimum health. The Green Foundation has been at the forefront for 25 years, dedicated solely to promoting prevention through early detection, annual screenings, and nutrition. We know you because we are you. Our hand-holding approach supports you and your family to receive your right to be treated fairly and receiving quality healthcare services. We want you and your family to know COVID-19 was devastating to our families and to our wallet. We can build back better by understanding prevention, wearing your mask, washing your hands, social distancing, and understanding the impact of long COVID. Get the care you deserve. Take advantage of your privileges. Contact us, info@thegreenfoundation.net. info@thegreenfoundation.net.
What is dedication?
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that my kids wouldn't have a father. And I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. I definitely had to become a better man to be a better father. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Hey, keeping you informed, entertained, and always ahead of the curve. This is RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
You are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. So the chat has been bustling about whether Malcolm McLaren is actually the artist that forensic accountant says Jamiroquai reminded him of. I think that's wrong. I think maybe he's talking about Simply Red, Holding Back the Years. I think that might be who you're talking about. Look that song up. Let me know. Get back to me. Anyway, we were discussing Trey Songz and the accusations that are being levied against him in a lawsuit. So the two young ladies said that once they arrived, they were told to hand over their phones along with the passwords to their phones in order to gain entrance. They said that once they got inside, they were allegedly pressured into consuming alcohol out of already open containers. The accusers claimed that they soon felt severely inebriated, and they believed that their drinks were spiked. They said that they were led upstairs by Trey Songz, where they passed out fully clothed. They said they awoke the next morning, and one of the women recounted waking up nude, and that Trey Songz was forcibly performing oral sex on her. The other one alleged that she too awoke and was naked, and that Trey was, it was a lot going on. Let's just say that they're accusing them of. They said that when they refused to take a shower with him, that he went into a rage and said that you are little girls and to get out of his house. Those are the allegations. We've heard several along those lines in different format. The lawyer is alleging that these are totally false. We will see if anything develops of it. But, listen, I hope that, again, healing for everybody in that situation and love. See, they're still going in the chat. They're still trying to figure out who it was. Said it's not Simply Red. Here comes Aubrey Sinclair with What You Won't Do for Love. Rest in peace, Bobby Caldwell. He recently passed away. Bobby Caldwell was a 70s singer, though, so I believe that's when that hit came out. So I don't know. He said he had a Donald Fagen from Steely Dan type flow. Hey, I'm stumped. If you come up with it, let us know, because we're curious now, of course. All right, so as I mentioned, Saw this question on social media the other day, and there are a lot of responses, a lot of conversation. And though we don't believe in pitting these two actors against each other because they both bring us so much, I do think it's a cute conversation to have, and in it, we can give our flowers to them. Andy?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, you were okay.
I'm ready.
Okay. So the question that was posed was, who is the not better actor per se, but who has more versatility? And the comparison was between Jamie Foxx and Denzel Washington. So let's start with this. Jamie is one of the greatest entertainers ever. Ever. I mean that. The man can sing, play the piano, act, comedian, just talented. He can mimic almost anybody. It's amazing, right? He can back up being considered, because some people were like, how could you compare Jamie to Denzel? Very easily, they're both Academy Award winners. Let's not do that, right? Jamie has 87 acting credits. Multiple TV shows, animation, music, video, voice work, etc. So let's think about some of my personal Jamie Foxx favorites. We don't even got to talk about In Living Color and Wanda and those skits. We're going to leave that where it is, right? I am going to focus on film and some of my favorite things. Law Abiding Citizen. That was a great movie. I thought Jamie was excellent in that, right? Obviously, most recently, they cloned Tyrone. I thought he did a good job in that. That was a good flick. Ray, Academy Award winning. Collateral, is it Collateral Damage or just Collateral? The film he did with Tom Cruise, where he was the cab driver. That's one of, like, my favorite flicks. And then, come on now, Any Given Sunday. That is one of my most favorite films ever. Long, but I really, really like that. Obviously, he was also in an Academy Award-winning picture for Soul back in 2020. I mean, what can Jamie not do? Andy, you got some Jamie love?
The answer to the question is Jamie Foxx.
Is Jamie Foxx without question?
Without question. And I think you basically broke down his resume. He could do everything Denzel Washington can do, but he also has the comedy bag.
Right.
He has the music bag, impersonations and all that jazz. I mean, the fact that he did Ray Charles the way he did Ray Charles.
Incredible. Now, Denzel obviously has a theater background, right? We've never seen Jamie on Broadway, right? Denzel, he was just in, was it Macbeth? It was. He was just in Macbeth, the adaptation for the big screen. You know, obviously, I think Denzel has probably played Othello at some point. So he's a thespian, true thespian. You got to think Denzel is one of the greatest actors of his generation, right? He's a producer, director. He does have Jamie on that. You know, I don't think Jamie has directed a film at this point. I'm sure we could see it happening soon at some time. You know, many, many things, right? So Denzel has 63 acting credits, but 59 of his credits are from film, right? Obviously, Denzel has been lead in films like Fences, The Tragedy of Macbeth, Malcolm X, Training Day, Glory, Saint Elsewhere, Carbon Copy. Did you see Denzel's, I think that was his big screen debut. It's a movie called Carbon Copy where he was pretending to be the black son of this man and he was hustling him. It was a comedy. I don't know if comedy is Denzel's thing. We know he delivers funny lines sometimes and it can be comical, you know. American Gangster has some bars. But now that I think about it, we've never seen, except in the earlier years, we haven't seen Denzel in any comedies, have we? Pretty interesting to think about. I mean, obviously, Alonzo in Training Day, he won his Best Actor Oscar. He also won the supporting actor for Glory. You know, when he said, what is the famous line where he goes to get whipped and the single teardrop comes down his eye? Denzel, people loved him from that moment on. In the chat, what are they saying? What are they voting to say? Aubrey Sinclair says, I would say Jamie Foxx. Denzel has his Denzel-isms. It's good and consistent in every movie. Um, you know, I'm trying to think, do I think that Jamie has some isms that we think about when we think about him in roles like across roles? Not really, no. I don't think, and that's obviously not a bad thing, because some people feel like you shouldn't have something that is a signature thing that you take across the roles because they're different roles, different characters. But, yeah. Wait, so in the chat, I guess they figured out who the Jamiroquai comparison is. Eric Tagg. Do you know who Eric Tagg is, Andy? I have no idea. Urban Spinster says, Promises, Promises, dude. I thought Promises, Promises was Christopher Williams. See, now I'm stumped. I'm going to have to go look something up again. He says he was featured on Lee Ritenour's Is It You? I'm not even sure I know what cut that is. I'm going to have to check it out, Forensic Accountant. You went deep in your bag for that one. He better have some dreads, though, because if he doesn't, I'm not going to understand the comparison. Nah, maybe their voices are the same. Forensic Accountant also says on this topic, Jamie Foxx had to eat and took some roles Denzel would never have touched. Is that range? That's a great point. But I mentioned that movie Carbon Copy for a reason. It was not critically acclaimed. And if they tried to make it today in 2023, it wouldn't get made. It starred George Segal, Susan St. James, Jack Warden, Paul Winfield, and basically it was a rich white corporate executive finds out that he has an illegitimate black son, and things start to fall apart from there. That's the setup of it. Delightfully racist, as you can imagine, heavy on those jokes. But I feel like in the late 70s, early 80s, a lot of comedy, especially when you paired a black person with a white person, was full of that. Think about some of the films that why am I blanking on his last name? He and Richard Pryor. Gene Hackman? No, that's not Gene Hackman. Gosh, it's going to come to me. But, he and Richard Pryor did a lot of movies together. A lot of their comedy had racial undertones and played off of each other. You think about Eddie Murphy's early movies, 48 Hours and Trading Places. Those definitely played off of that, the differences between black and white. But I say all that to say, Carbon Copy was not good, to say the least. I don't know. You can go look it up and tell me what you think. But yeah, I would like to see. Do you think that Denzel could do a comedy, Andy? Could you see Denzel in a comedy?
No.
Not at all?
Not at all. He could probably deliver some funny lines or whatnot, but
You think he's too intense?
He's too intense. There's nothing goofy about him.
You could never get to that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Gene Wilder, thank you in the chat. Gene Wilder, that's whose name I was thinking of. He they definitely, had that thing. If you think about, and this is kind of a different but same approach, Richard Pryor in The Toy, where he was literally a toy for a little white kid. Listen, we used to love that movie as kids in the 80s. That movie couldn't get made now. That is something totally different. Things that, well, Andy, I want to ask you, what do you think about that? Do you think because now it's so sensitive, we have some movies where there are, some racial comedy sneaks in there or whatever, but do you think it's better if they leave it alone? Do you think things are too sensitive now for people to be able to laugh at the differences in some of the jokes and things that used to get made back in the day?
I say do it, man. Do it. And whatever backlash comes, the backlash comes. Who knows? You might not even get the backlash. It depends. It depends on how egregious it is. You know what I mean?
I think so. Well, I mean, because I think about this. Like, if you look at something like Delirious, Eddie Murphy's first comedy special, we really can't talk about Delirious in 2023.
Right.
You can't reference it.
Mm-hmm.
It was funny, though. But it's not appropriate, right?
Unfortunately.
In some ways, I feel like the shame in all that has happened is that even, with whites to blacks, I think through comedy there were jokes that could be made that we all kind of meet in the middle and understand the points that are made, the differences, the little funny things. If you think about there's a show currently on called The Neighborhood, which kind of, plays on that. It's about white people that moved into what was a predominantly black neighborhood, but is now becoming gentrified. It's on CBS. It stars Cedric the Entertainer and Tisha Campbell. I mean, not Tisha Campbell. Not Tisha Campbell. And then Tichina Arnold. There it is. Okay. So you get why I kind of slipped up. But anyway, it is something that I find interesting as far as comedy and things like that. But back on point, I think that it is a good point. Jamie could probably play a lot of Denzel's roles. They might be different in how they are presented, but I think that it could still be a solid product. But we know that Denzel probably could not have stepped in some of the film roles that Jamie has taken on.
Could Denzel have done what Jamie Foxx did on In Living Color? No. Wanda? No. What was the dude on the Dirty Dozens? I forgot his Jamie Foxx character. Where they play that where they were bagging on each other.
I can't remember I can't remember his character's name anymore. Again, like I said, I've never seen Denzel do comedy. So
exactly.
Except for that movie Carbon Copy, and I was a little kid, and was what it was.
And that's where Jamie got him.
And that is true. Brother Alfonso says Jamie Foxx is a better all-around entertainer. Denzel is a better actor. That's fair. That is fair.
That's fair.
We love them both. So again, like I said, this isn't a competition. This isn't to pit two strong black actors who are legends in the community against each other. It's just conversation. Because like I said, you guys get on social media and will say anything. I really think that now it has to do with just people are trying to get engagement, to get paid from the X or whatever, just trying to go viral. Because I refuse to believe you guys actually believe some of the things.
That too, but also you have a lot of individuals in this world who have found their voice through social media.
Facts.
And because of that, they feel the need to go ham.
Right.
Because they found their voice.
Right. Somebody's paying attention to me. Let me say something else. Oh, if I say something else a little crazy, they'll still pay attention to me. It's like the thing people always talk about with celebrities online and social media. If they sit there every day and say, I love you, you're great, you're amazing, you saved my life, I listen to your music, I watch your movies, it moves me, they get ignored. But if they say, yo, that single's whack, they might get some attention and a long response back. Guess it's just the way of the world. When we come forward, we'll have more trending topics and headlines. You were locked into RS3P with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. News and sports on the other side.
I think it's time to find a new religion. Whoa, it's so insane to see this as another stream. There's something in this future that we have to be told. Futures made of virtual insanity now always seem to become about this.
Infusing a sense of fun and entertainment in every episode. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. More when we come forward.
I'm Tyreek Wynn. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. New York State is updating its training for child welfare reporters. Child Welfare Deputy Commissioner Gail Gagan-Pratt, who is black, says the change aims to address racial bias when it comes to reporting cases of abuse and neglect. The former medical director of Seattle Children's Hospital's Odessa Brown Children's Clinic is suing the healthcare system for racial discrimination and retaliation. Dr. Benjamin Danielson filed the lawsuit. Danielson said the hospital permitted the use of racial slurs, failing to remedy known incidents of systemic racism, and more. Jacksonville, Florida is cashing in on a multi-million-dollar settlement with the Mayor's Bank. U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland was in the city recently to detail the $9 million agreement, saying the bank's local branches repeatedly redlined communities of color. Ameris was accused of not providing mortgage services to people living in predominantly black and Hispanic neighborhoods throughout the city. That's the latest. I'm Tyreek Wynn on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Hey, if you're thinking of getting the latest iPhone, you need to stop and check out the wireless offer from Boost Infinite. For more, just pick up your phone and dial pound 250 and say Boost Infinite. That's pound 250 and Boost Infinite. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dialed text message from this station's network.
To boldly go where no man has gone before.
Boldly taking talk radio where it has never gone before. New vistas, new voices, new views, new visions, new victories. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we're taking public media black.
Join LA Civil Rights and the Reparations Advisory Commission's Black Experience Study live this fall. Learn about the city's plans for reparations and join the study in real time. For more information and to register, visit laisforeveryone.com today.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment. LA's 99 neighborhood councils form the grassroots level of the Los Angeles city government. The system was created to connect LA's diverse communities to City Hall. While neighborhood council board members are volunteers, they are also public officials elected to office by the members of their community. Neighborhood councils advocate on issues like homelessness, housing, land use, emergency preparedness, public safety, parks, transportation, and sustainability. They also provide local expertise on the delivery of city services to their various communities. Neighborhood councils are open to participation by anyone who is a part of the fabric of daily life in said community. This includes those who live, work, or own property or a business. If you are interested in stepping up to join your local neighborhood council, visit www.empowerla.org. That's empowerla.org. It's time to think globally, but act locally. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The Chase Ink Business Premier Card is made for people who make things happen, like me. I'm Sam, founder and CEO of Manifest, a product design company that makes everyday products designed smarter. I get 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more, plus unlimited 2% cash back on all other purchases, which helps us make more smart ideas into a brilliant reality.
The Ink Business Premier Card. Learn more at chase.com/business premier. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Account subject to credit approval. Restrictions and limitations apply. Cards are issued by JP Morgan Chase Bank. NA member FDIC.
Hey, Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Is this tree good for climbing? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
Hello?
Man, where are you? I thought you were coming.
I can't. I'm in bed with the flu.
The flu? Whoa. Grandma's about to crowd surf. Man, I'll call you back.
Don't get stuck at home with the flu. A flu shot is safe, effective, and you can get it at the same time as your COVID-19 vaccine. A flu shot is the best way to prevent the flu and its potentially serious complications. Don't get flu FOMO. Learn more at getmyflushot.org.
Brought to you by the AMA, CDC, and the Ad Council.
If you're a veteran with a service-connected disability that is directly impacting your ability to work, resources are available to help you find employment. VA's Veteran Readiness and Employment, or VR&E, can assist you with finding a job that uses your existing skills. Or, if you're interested in exploring a new field, a VR&E counselor can help you determine the right education or training options for a new career. Find out if VR&E is right for you by visiting va.gov/VRE today.
Anyone can choose to make a difference. You can help people succeed, rebuild after disasters, protect the environment, or feed the hungry. Not only will you make a difference for others, but for yourself. You can earn money for college, learn career skills, and make friendships that last a lifetime. Make a difference. Choose your future. Choose AmeriCorps.
KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. Curating the most compelling stories and delivering them straight to your ears. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm waiting for Janet to kick in on her vocals. Shout out to Janet Jackson, little black cat on her rock tip. I love versatility. Do we well, I guess Doja maybe, right? Doja stretches, but people aren't feeling Doja. They kind of ignored the Scarlet album. I don't know. Do we allow artists to be as diverse as we once did, to try and experiment? I mean, we know Drake does, but we see the reaction to that sometimes. It's an interesting thing, Andy.
I think you just got to fit your brand, kind of, sort of. I think like when Run DMC collaborated with Aerosmith, it was new. It was something unique, but I guess to a degree it fit their brand. They didn't sound horrible over the record, you know?
Right. I mean, Jay-Z collaborated with
Linkin Park
when he did Numb. That seemed to make sense, right? At the time.
I mean, for you to rap over an Annie record, I think that definitely showed his versatility. So when he, collaborated with Linkin Park, Jay-Z has a strong ear for music.
He really does.
So, I'm kind of like not surprised by that collaboration or how well the collaboration was between them.
I mean, you think about this, like Nelly went platinum with his Sweat and Suit album, and one of those was like country leaning, yeah? I believe the Suit album was, the Suit side.
I don't know if the whole thing was country. I believe
or
that.
Just that one song that he did with Tim
McGraw?
Yeah.
There was that one song, yes. Because he had that Drop Down and Get Your Eagle On. I think one was hip hop and the other one was whatever it was.
Okay, interesting. Aubrey Sinclair mentioned Public Enemy. Who did they do something with? Anthrax or something like that? I don't know. I'm not sure. What I will say is shout out to Forensic Accountant during the break. I went and looked up Eric Tag. That was what he said his name was? Yeah, Eric Tag. And the song Gotta Be Lovin'. I think that's what it was. I just did it quickly. Let me look and make sure that's Got to Be Lovin' You. Got to Be Lovin' You. And I do see the Jamiroquai influence that you spoke of. That was a low-key banger. All right. So that is someone. I'm going to research them. I had never heard of him before. Digging in the Crates. We like that. And he definitely is in the vein of your Bobby Caldwell, Daryl Hall, John Oates type of vibe. So we'll get more into that. Thank you for that little tidbit. We appreciate it. Now, we heard back in August that, well, really all summer, Tyler Perry was supposed to buy BET. BET was for sale. And then Paramount came out and said they decided not to sell the network because ultimately it wouldn't be meaningful for their balance sheet, which was the point of trying to put it out there. The price tag that they had placed on it was $3 billion. So we know that Tyler Perry has some minority stake in BET and BET Plus, right? And it's been that way for quite a long time. He was the primary building block for BET Plus's programming when it came out. A lot of his shows, Sisters, The Oval, all of those things, all the Queen's Men, etc., are running it up over there. But we hadn't heard Tyler say anything about the sale, about what happened, or anything like that. Well, recently, last night actually, he spoke out about what happened. He said that he was disappointed about it not happening for a number of reasons, and that the way that it happened was disrespectful in many, many ways. He was talking at the Bloomberg Summit on Black Entrepreneurship at the Gathering Spot in Atlanta last night, like I mentioned, and he said, "Don't try to get me to pay for something that's not worth anywhere near the value Paramount said it was. God bless them. I'm still working with them, but I do think it's interesting. I mean, of course, you're going to try and get as much value as you can, but Paramount really tried to hit the market with the bamboozle. They're like, they love this. It's sentimental value. We can boost it up and make our money back and keep that thing going." Obviously, it did not happen. So I am curious to see, because there were certain things that were, moving around or planned to. We know that VH1 as a network lost Love and Hip Hop. It was moved over to MTV, which seemed curious. Like, what is the plan for MTV? So we'll have to see what ultimately happens with the networks and, how it all comes together. BET is a staple. Obviously, so are the BET Awards. But, is it going to stay the same at this point in time? We'll have to look out and see what happens with that. So listen, social media things. And friends get all up in your business. And by friends, I mean your followers or whatever. Get all up in your business. So recently, social media users had discovered that Big Sean and Janae Aiko unfollowed each other on Instagram. And so the rumors started to fly, and they were like, what is happening? Did Big Sean do something wrong again? They said that Janae allegedly had wiped her Instagram. Not wiped it, Instagram gave us that benefit where you can archive photos, so you can make it look like you deleted everything off, and then once you get over your little tiff with your friend, lover, whomever, just restore them back and like nothing ever happened. So there were whispers that Big Sean allegedly, stepped out on her again. They said that, they were posting cryptic breakup related quotes and, the things that people look for and say that you always do when you're going through something in your relationship. Do you do that? Do you guys do that? Do you post those sad quotes? Do you telescope what's going on with you and how you're feeling? I know some people do it because they want to, let you know, it's a passive aggressive move. I don't want to tell you how I'm feeling, but I want you to know that I'm upset. I know when I used to try those things, not on social media, because that wasn't my time. I wasn't, social media came around after I was beyond that point of, showing out for attention. But what I did notice is whenever you do those things, they kind of didn't work out the way that you wanted to, even if they did momentarily. But what do I know? It might work for some. Anyway, there was no confirmation that the two actually called it quits. They did, once social media start chattering, appear to refollow each other and restore some of the photos. They have been up and down as far as their relationship. They originally met as collaborators. It's late. Rock with me. In 2012. And they've had their on again and off again relationship since 2016. And last November, they welcomed their first child together, Noah. So, again, much like we said with Will and Jada, sometimes people go through things and they might just be mad and they don't want to tell everybody. But I do think, pick a side with that social media stuff because people are watching, they're paying attention. And if you don't want the grief, just put them on mute. That way you don't even have to unfollow them and you don't have to worry about the social media detectives getting all in your business. But then again, maybe you want that. Maybe that's the point, right? Like, attention. I don't know. We'll see. When we come forward, we'll have more trending topics and headlines. You were locked in to RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
RSVP with Jill Munroe is your go-to show for staying in the know. More engaging conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
In Big Tobacco's fantasy land, children are the future. Here, tobacco companies are committed to higher education, offering scholarships to students who submit essays about the benefits of vaping. The tobacco industry even sponsors summer camps for kids. Don't worry, the tobacco-sponsored programs have been linked to leaving your kids more interested in smoking. In Big Tobacco's Fantasyland, the world's deadliest industry is your child's friend. See reality at undo.org.
JP Morgan Chase is building on the investments in California and around the country to help close the racial wealth gap and build a more equitable future. As part of JP Morgan Chase commitment, they are taking action to help improve financial wealth and access to banking in the Black community, helping more people open low-cost checking and savings accounts, hosting community seminars with supporting Black-led institutions by building awareness about financial investments, hiring community managers, and opening community center branches like Crenshaw, Inglewood, and downtown LA. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Get the tools to help reach your financial goals. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Stay Housed LA has the resources you need to know your rights and the legal support to back them up. The COVID-19 pandemic has cost people their jobs and livelihoods. This has left an estimated 1/3 of households not being able to make rent and facing losing their homes. This is a fear no one in our community should have to face. You have rights, though, and Stay Housed LA is here to help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between the County of Los Angeles, the City of Los Angeles, and local community and legal service providers. Together, they provide tenants with the information and support needed to exercise their rights so they can remain safely in their homes. Find out more about your rights by participating in a virtual tenant workshop. Get the legal assistance you need. Find additional resources in Los Angeles County and the City of Los Angeles. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA County for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. That's stayhousedla.org. Or call their hotline at 213-694-0040. We've got your Black with a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Now back to more captivating conversation on RSVP with Jill Munroe.
You are locked in to RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. So, it's Thursday. You know what that means. I have to let you know what you should be looking to watch coming up over this weekend. Now, this one thing that I'm going to tell you about is a new docuseries that's been announced. I'm not sure when exactly it comes on, but I wanted to let you know it's in the building, right? It's a new docuseries that chronicles Two Live Crew's Uncle Luke. It will be called Coach Luke, and it's going to chronicle Luther Campbell's path from leader of the Two Live Crew. We all know them. We know the music they used to make, all the way to battling the White House for those stickers back in the late 80s, early 90s, to now being head coach of the underfunded Edison Senior High football team in Miami. So viewers can expect that there will be some parallel storylines in this project that also involve Michael Strahan and Deion Sanders. And so it will focus on Luke's backstory and the story of this year's football team. So be on the lookout for that. We love to see, people giving back to the kids. We've seen Coach Snoop, Coach Luke, who else? I don't know. I just love to see rappers in, when they get into their golden years, so to speak, but still, staying tapped in with you, still making a difference, making an impression on them, albeit in a different way, but it's also a way that they can share some of their experiences with them and, connect, because it's needed. So what else is coming on this week? Season 28 of The Daily Show returned this week, after 5 months off because of the writer's strike. It was back. They don't have a permanent replacement for Trevor Noah as of yet. We know that Roy has said deuces to you people. So they're going to continue with rotating guest hosts. Jesus Nice, formerly of Jesus and Mero. He'll be hosting next week from the 23rd to the 26th. Charlemagne the God is hosting from October 30th through November 2nd. And Leslie Jones will be heading it up from November 13th through the 16th. So, check that out. If you're into F-Boy Island, it made its season 3 premiere on the CW earlier this week. So get locked in, get tapped into that. We love our reality dating shows. We love to see people go out and embarrass themselves for love and compete. All for love. All for love. We also have tomorrow night the season 2 premiere of Bosch, which is launching on Prime Video and Freevee. So make sure you're locked into that. And let's see what else. There is something else interesting. Oh, this is what it is. There's a new series coming to Netflix. It's a movie, actually. My bad. And it premieres tomorrow as well. And it's called Old Dads. And it has Bokeem Woodbine in it and comedian Bill Burr. He also directed and co-wrote and co-produced it. He is very good friends with Bokeem. It also stars Bobby. I always jack up Bobby's last name. Cannavale? I don't know. He was on, what is the show? Boardwalk Empire that used to be on HBO. A bunch of other things. Bobby's face. Anyway, so what the storyline is, it's about these 3 guys who became fathers later in life, and now they're struggling to deal with, preschool principals, millennial CEOs, and anything created after 1987. So it's basically Gen X versus everybody. It's on Netflix. Go check it out. And also, season 7 of Big Mouth drops on October 20th. So lock into that. And of course, this is a little ahead of the curve, but I'm just going to shout it out. You know what happens next Tuesday, right? Y'all know what happens next Tuesday. Please say you know what happens next Tuesday. Andy, you don't know what happens next Tuesday? The NBA season kicks off. Are you kidding me? It is time. I know football, you're doing your thing. And, the NFL's cute. But I'm a basketball girl. So we are about to see what it do, boo, this season. See if the Lakers can make it happen. That's what I would like to see. Love that. Forensic accountant asked a question. I guess this is in reference to the conversation I was having about Janae and Big Sean. Why follow someone you know intimately? Why not? It's like, how else are you going to see the pictures they share? Do you send every picture that goes up on Instagram is not automatically sent to a friend or the person, Go look at my feed, participate, love each other. Now, again, keep in mind, I am also the person that says that I do not put relationships on social media. That's just not what I do, More power to everybody else that does it. forensic accountant also says, I haven't seen that done since Vanity social media, since Black Planet. Well, where have you been? You obviously missed the thing, because it is all about the follow, unfollow on Instagram, tagging someone to make it official. You make an Instagram debut with a boo. Some people, do men do this? Do men just like show, you know how women show a forearm or a bicep, a hand at dinner, or you just see like, you know, back profile? Do men do that as well when they're, you know, debuting their new girl? It's either all or nothing. All or nothing. They don't peek. They don't, you know, pre-launch to the timeline. Man, I think some might or should. They might want to consider it. You know, men seem to get in their feelings about certain things. Listen, thank you for rocking with us all week, right? I cannot believe it is already my Friday. There is one more story that can get into a little bit of it, and we'll probably get into it in more detail next week. So we know that Kim Kardashian and her daughter North have a really interesting relationship. North is very precocious, cute, right? And Kim has recently revealed that North moves through life as if she were an only child. She says, I feel like North is lives her life like an only child. She does her thing. This was on, you know, tonight's episode of The Kardashians, because, of course, there's always Kardashian stuff to fill the mix. They're always giving us quotables. So North is 10, and she has younger brothers and sisters, but Kim believes that the younger siblings are closer in age and they're more bonded. The two little ones, Chicago and Palm, they're a year apart, so they're like twins, and it's almost like they're all together. We know that she had Shy via surrogate, and Palms was delivered the same way, right? She said that we've seen North have little interest in playing with her brother Saint. I used to feel so sorry for Saint. I was so happy when he got other siblings, because he seemed like he really wanted to be in the sibling mix, and North was like, little brother. At any rate, she says she tries to indulge all of her children's interests, and sometimes that means that she has to tag along with North on her trips. North loves Paris. North loves fashion. That's why she took her to Paris for Fashion Week. So I think that, you know, North is, what did we say, 10, going on 11. I want to see what North's life is like when she hits her teen years, because she definitely has her father's disposition, and I think North is going to be tearing y'all up. You better leave North alone and let her do her thing and do her, and if you don't, she's going to tell it anyway. Look, thank you, VIPs, for rocking with us. You have been amazing this week, as always. Make sure that you are here for all the shows on the station. When we come forward, you will be checking out, of course, the best of KBLA. And when you clock in tomorrow for RSVP, it will be the best of RSVP with me. Make sure you do that. Make sure you're hitting like if you're on YouTube. And do us a favor, share it. Let your friends know. We know you like it. You're here checking in, so let everybody else know. I appreciate your time. Have an amazing night and an amazing weekend. I will check back in with you on Monday.
Get over you. A new